Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, hey. So a few weeks ago I got a request to do a get ready with me story time. So today is your lucky day. That's what I'm going to be doing. I also filmed, I did not film it for YouTube. As you can see, my hair is a different color. I used the As I Am curl color. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to do a tutorial for YouTube. I did film it for Instagram, but I did not film it for YouTube. So I've already done my brows off camera. I also want to add the color to my brows too, but when I tried it and tested it out last night, it did not stick. So we'll see what happens. So this is actually my first get ready with me story time video. I never really understood, like, let me not say I don't understand, but the get ready with me, are people actually getting ready to go somewhere, or are they just doing it for the camera? In my case, I'm just doing it for the camera because I'm going to do this, film some more content, make some breakfast, and then I'm going to take a nap. So I've already done my brows off camera. I'm also going to try not to edit this video too much because I want it to be, you know, it's an important topic. And let me not say a sensitive topic because it's not sensitive, but it's an important topic and I want it to be real and raw and authentic. So I'm going to be using, you guys know I do my eyes first, the Jaclyn Hill, you see that? The Morphe palette, in my opinion, probably one of the best makeup collabs ever, hands down. Just saying, that's volume 1, not volume 2. So when I got the request to do the get ready with me story time, I was like, you know, what am I going to talk about? But you know what? I had the perfect story. So after 17 years at my job, I recently resigned. I started at this job when I was 24 years old, and I am 42 years old now. So in order to understand, you know, a little bit about why I left, I'm going to have to give you guys a little bit of the backstory. So basically, like I said, I'm 43 years old, and I had my daughter. I only have one child, my 5-year-old daughter. I had her late in life at the age of 37. And like most people, you know, when they get pregnant, they think that everything is going to be smooth. There's not going to be any problems. I could not have been more wrong. So at week 6, I was, you know, had to rush to the hospital because I had some bleeding in the morning, one morning when I woke up. So we rushed to the hospital, and then turns out that I ended up having emergency surgery because the doctors thought that I was pregnant with twins and was having an ectopic pregnancy because one was stuck in the fallopian tube. Turns out that was not the case, and it was actually just a really big ovarian cyst. So I had to have that removed laparoscopically. So again, that was at week 6 of my pregnancy. And, you know, unfortunately, things just kept getting worse. You know, after every doctor visit, it was always something. And long story short, I ended up getting put on bed rest at 24 weeks. At week 21, they found that I had a short cervix. So they, you know, implanted a pessary, which is like a little plastic ring to help keep the pressure off of the cervix. That only lasted for about, you know, 3 weeks. So my 24-week appointment, you know, I go in for a routine appointment just to check to make sure that, you know, everything is fine. And then comes to find out I was dilated. So at the time, you know, my boyfriend and I, we both worked together. So he had to leave work and rush to the appointment with me. My mom was actually in Las Vegas getting ready to get married. And because she knew, you know, up until that point, I'd had so many, you know, complications and so many different, you know, issues at my doctor's appointment, she was like, call me as soon as you're done. So I called her, you know, while the doctor was sitting to me, talking to me in her office, and said to her, like, listen, you know, they said I'm starting to dilate. I'm being rushed to labor and delivery. So, of course, my mother, in true mother form, was like, I'm getting on a plane to come home. And I was like, no, go get married. I'm like, I'll be fine. My dad lives in Brooklyn. For those of you who don't know, I'm here in New York. I live in the Bronx. I was like, Daddy's, you know, home. I was like, you know, Daddy's going to meet me at the hospital. My boyfriend, who is Armando, you know, he rushed to the hospital also. So I ended up staying in the hospital for 5 days. Luckily, I did not dilate any further. But at 24 weeks, I was officially put, you know, on bed rest. So... and I don't know, am I supposed to show y'all the makeup while I'm actually doing the makeup with this get ready with me? I'm really not sure, so I'm going to try to show you guys at the same time, but I can't guarantee that that's going to happen throughout the whole entire video. So I'm just going to go in with this one right here. One thing missing from the Jaclyn Hill palette, a mirror. So I have to use this little thing right here. Yeah, so I got rushed to labor and delivery. I was there for 5 days, in the hospital. Luckily, I did not dilate anymore, but then that was it. I was officially put on bed rest. So, thank God, by the grace of God, and, I think through modern medicine, because I do believe that, the medication that I was on helped me from dilating any further. I gave birth to my daughter at 38 weeks, nice and healthy, no issues, no nothing. So, fast forward 5 years later, no, sorry, rewind, pandemic of 2020. During the lockdown, um, that was the most amount of time, consecutive time that I had spent with my daughter, because after, being on bed rest for, I think I was on bed rest for like 3.5 months or something. I only took a 6 weeks maternity leave because I was, afraid of obviously losing my job. We couldn't afford to not have two incomes in the household. So I did end up going back to work at 6 weeks. And, that was super difficult for me, not because she was just, my firstborn, but obviously because I had so many issues, throughout my pregnancy. And I just was, terrified. So fast forward to the pandemic. I got, like most companies, I was able to work remote from home. Thank goodness I was not put on furlough. So I was working remotely. Like I said, and for 3 months, that was the most amount of time that I was able to spend consecutively with my daughter. And I realized, like, this is actually what I want. I don't want to have to get up and work a 9 to 5 every day. I don't want to have to, we had to send her to after school because we both work. I didn't want to have to do that. So I started asking myself the tough questions. Like, is this really what you want to do for the rest of your life? And I don't think I said what I did. I actually was an office manager at a popular real estate firm here in New York. So I really started asking myself those tough questions, like, is this really what you want to do for the rest of your life? Is this your passion? And it wasn't. And it had never been my passion. And, like most people who get up and work a job, it was just a job to me. Don't get me wrong, it was a good job, but it was just a job. It wasn't something that I was passionate about. And I had never, had the feeling. I wanted to be able to say I woke up and loved what I did every day for a living. And I honestly couldn't say that. And I wanted that feeling. So a friend of mine, named Nicole, hey Nicole, we actually were co-workers at the real estate firm. And, because I wore makeup every day to work, always have. And she said, like, why are you not on social media doing makeup? And I had my own personal reasons for not wanting to do it. Fear was one of them. Like, what are people going to say? What are people going to think? What if people don't like my makeup? So in October of 2020, I threw caution to the wind and said, you know what? F it. What do I have to lose? I decided to start my Motley Girl page in October of 2020, and that's what I did. So here I am today, and at that time, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew what I didn't want to do, if that makes any sense to you guys. So I knew I wanted to do something that was makeup related, not necessarily applying makeup to other people, because I have done that in the past, for friends and family and things like that. But was that really what I wanted to do? And I don't think it was. So it wasn't really until I started, my Motley Girl social media page that I was like, you know what? I think this is my calling. Like, I get paid to play in makeup basically. And I can't tell you, how happy that makes me. And I'm not just saying this because to toot my own horn. I'm saying this because people have, women have reached out to me and said, that I inspire them, and, that because of me, either they, have had the courage to cut my hair, because you guys know I cut all my hair off last summer, or they're, experimenting more with makeup. So that's really pretty much, my story. So I'm not saying all this to say that, you guys should go out and quit your job. No, I'm not going to say that to you, because I don't think you should do that. And not everybody is in a position to do that. But what I will say is I did plan. It wasn't just a rash decision. It was a decision that I obviously discussed with my family. I have my family support. I have my man support. I also, saved some money. So, and I'm actually really, really excited. This is actually this week will be my first full week at home, not working. Well, let me not say not working, being a full-time content creator. I'm so excited because I get to spend so much more time with my daughter. And I honestly really felt like personally, like I was, missing her growing up, because I had to, because we have to work so much. And I get it. Trust me, I do. Because parents have to work. That's just the way it is. And, a lot of companies are not understanding and, accommodating. Luckily, I did not have that problem because my job was very accommodating. You know, if I needed to leave early to pick her up, it was never an issue. If I needed to come in late because of something, that was never an issue. So in that sense, it was very, you know, my job was very supportive and understanding of me being a parent, but this was just something that I needed to do for me, for myself, because, you know, I feel like I'm 43 years old. Well, I'm going to be 43 in November. And I feel like this is like the second, you know, half of my work career. And I didn't want to spend it doing something that I absolutely did not love. And, you know, that's how I feel about it. So I'm super excited that I get to come on here and, like I said, do what I love. And because I'm also passionate about so many other things, I feel like the sky is the limit. You know what I mean? I feel like I can obviously do this makeup and, you know, turn this into a whole bunch of other different things. But I also do party planning too. I also used to make jewelry. I used to have a handmade jewelry business that I started. I don't remember what year it was, but I kind of sort of lost the passion for that after my grandmother died in 2015. So, you know, once that happened, I kind of sort of lost my my creative bug, if that makes sense. And I mean, I've made jewelry since then, but not as much as, you know, I don't feel like I don't love it as the way I used to love it, if that makes sense to you guys also. So all right, so I'm dipping back in that rusty color to do my crease here. I'm gonna try and explain a little bit more what I'm doing. And like I said, forgive me because this is my first get ready with me video, so I'm all over the place, but you know what? That's how I am in life. I'm all over the place. So just putting that in the crease there, just to deepen up that crease a little bit and add some dimension. I also switched up the location of where I'm filming. I'm trying to find the place in the house that has the best lighting. And my daughter's room has really good lighting, but when I tried to put the camera in there with the ring light, and it just messed it all up. So right now I'm actually filming in my living room, and I think it looks pretty good, but I think also because it's daytime, I really don't think I'm gonna get this such good lighting in the evening. So I don't know how that's gonna work, you know, once she's out of school, because obviously she's not gonna be quiet. So I'm dipping in this color right here to do on my outer V. But for the meantime, until she's done with school, this is actually gonna be just fine. So I'm putting that on the outer V right there, just to deepen that up just a little bit. So yeah, like I was saying, what was I saying? Lord, I don't even know. And sorry if you hear noise in the background, like I said, because I'm filming in my living room. Like there's a staircase right next to my apartment, so you probably can hear the door opening and closing. Sorry about that. And I'm still not used to filming on YouTube. It's still not looking like into the lens here. I keep looking over here because that's how I film on Instagram. So sorry about that too, guys. Be patient with me. So again, just deepening up that crease. And now I'm going in with this gold color right here, right on the lid. And now that I'm also working, you know, doing content creating full time, I'm going to try to get on here for you guys and try to drop 2 videos a week for you guys. That's my plan, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Because not in addition to, you know, doing content creating, I also, my brother, and I'll link it in the description, he launched a fresh pressed juice business back actually during the lockdown, and I actually help him run his business. So, you know, I manage his social media, I built his website, I do his setup for farmers markets and events and things like that. So I am busy. It's not like I'm not, you know, working and don't have things to do. So I do that as well, in addition to, you know, being a full-time stay-at-home mom now. So I'm actually very excited about this next chapter in my life. I've been looking forward to it for quite some time, and I couldn't be, to be honest with you, I really just couldn't be happier. I feel like, you know, now every morning when I get up and I go and, you know, drop her off at school, knowing that I'm going to be able to pick her up early because I want to, you know, be able to take her to the park and spend some extra time with her, you know, that really makes me so happy. So I really just couldn't. And I don't want to say that, you know, I should have done it sooner, because clearly it wasn't time for me to do it sooner. I feel like everything happens for a reason. It played out the way it was supposed to play out, and now I'm here. I feel like the timing also couldn't have been more perfect because she's starting kindergarten in September. So I really couldn't have been happier. I also noticed, I just looked at the time here, so it looks like I am gonna have to do some editing because I only have, when you film in high definition, you know, it gives you these time. I don't know about you, but I'm Team Samsung. Sorry, I will not join Team iPhone. I refuse. But I don't know about if that happens to you guys, but when you're filming in super high def, it gives you like, you can only do it for a certain amount of time. So it says I have like 6 minutes or something like that. So just let me do my foundation really fast. I'm using the black Opal, what is it, True Color Pore Perfecting foundation right now. Don't make a mess. I also can't find my foundation brush, so I'm gonna use a sponge. I typically do not use a sponge to apply my foundation, but am I the only person that's super unorganized when you do your makeup? Because when I tell you, I actually bought makeup a few weeks ago and wanted to do, you know, a review on it, and then got the package in the mail and then lost it in the house and couldn't find it for like at least a good 3 weeks. And I refused to buy it again because it was expensive. Not expensive, but it wasn't cheap. Let's just say that. But I ended up finding it. So I actually will do a review on that too. But I'm super unorganized. Like I lose stuff all the time. Makeup brushes, all types of stuff. That was just a good quick, just doing like a quick little blend before this camera timed out on me. I also think I'm gonna have to get those good fancy schmancy, like what do you call them things? Those DSLR cameras. Those things cost a lot of money. And that is not in the budget right now. So we're gonna make it work with this little Samsung right here. So if I have to keep stopping and starting, that's what's gonna have to happen. All right, so I'm gonna stop it now and then come back. Actually blended very, very nicely and looks really good on camera. I'm actually surprised about that. In person, I think it's a little more red, but on camera, it actually looks very, very nice. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the get ready with me part, the story time part, because that's really basically it. Like I said, you know, I don't recommend that anybody obviously go out and quit your job, but I do, you know, want to encourage people to go out and follow your dreams and pursue your passion, whatever that may be. And, you know, for those kids, people who are out there who are younger than I am, you know, to think you have to have everything figured out, you know, by the time you're 25 or 30. You don't, because look at me, you know. And I feel like at 42, I really feel like I'm just getting started, you know. So that's what I have to say about that. You know, you're never too old to pursue your dream, you know. And I also, that was also a big thing for me, because like I said, we are raising a little girl, and I don't want her to feel like, you know, she has to work a job just because that the era that I'm from, you know, and obviously generations before, we were taught you go to school, you get a job, you work, you stay there, you retire there, you die there. That's just how, you know, people were raised, because that's just the way it was. But, you know, in this day and age of all this, you know, social media and things like that, like, you don't have to do that now. People are out here on social media creating whole entire careers for themselves just on social media. And I think that's beautiful, and I love it. And, you know, I just couldn't be happier. I have to grab a powder. I'll be right back. I told you I was unprepared. As much as I try to prepare and like gather all my stuff and get it together, I'm still always very unprepared. When I tell you, this is one of my favorite setting powders, Black Opal. Get into it. Do you see that? Look at that. Woo! Yes. Black Opal is very underrated, I feel like. I feel like a lot of people sleep on Black Opal, and you should definitely not. Don't do that. Don't sleep on Black Opal, honey. All right, so I'm gonna try to, another reason I want to switch up my lighting, I feel like sometimes my contour, because I'm not a big like, you know, snatched contour girl, but I feel like sometimes my contour looks better in my daughter's bedroom in her lighting for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I'll contour my nose, and then, you know, typically where I do my makeup is in the bathroom, and I look in the bathroom, I'm like, eh, it's all right. But then when I walk in her room, I'm like, who is this? Does that ever happen to you, where you literally walk in a different, like, set of lighting and your makeup looks like who? Wait a minute, who is that? That's how I feel when I go in her bedroom. So that's why I wanted to try to film in there today, but that went all the way left. So I'm just using a bronzer from Colored Raine to just lightly, look, I just said light and just did all that. I usually tap off the excess too. I did not do that today, so played myself a little bit. And then sculpt, and then I usually just do like the tip here just a little, because like I said, I don't do like a super, you know, snatchity snatch nose. Just a little something, just a little light contour. So I should dab that excess off on the back of my hand just a little bit, and then I'm gonna blend that out. But first I'm gonna do a little bit more concealer just to make that contour a little bit more sharp. So like right here, right in there, and then I do some just right there, see? And that's it. I also got asked to do a video on contouring. So that was somebody actually on Instagram though. I just squeeze, pinch for the nose. And I know it looks scary now, but don't worry, because we're gonna go over and we're gonna blend it, right? Actually, I'm gonna take my beauty blender again and just dip in that, back in that setting powder. And then just to tone that down some. See that? And just dab here because I'm super oily in there. I also went to I went to get a facial a few weeks ago, and I found it. I tried a different place because my place, although I love her and I've been going to her for years, she's in Manhattan and I live all the way up in the Bronx, and she doesn't open until 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm like, who opens a business at 12 o'clock in the afternoon? I'm trying to be in there like at 9 o'clock in the morning, do what I got to do, and go home. So I found a place in Harlem. And I mean, she was okay, but she also said something that I found surprising. She said, and I have very oily skin, she said that my skin was actually dehydrated, and that actually could be the reason why it was so oily, which I found very interesting, because she said that I guess I had been using like too many products with acid that, you know, was stripping my skin and drying it out. And so in order for my skin to compensate, it was producing so much more oil. So I switched my cleanser to she actually said I should start using a cream cleanser. And for blush, I'm using the LYS. So I actually switched that up. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I found that very interesting because, like I said, I had been going to my girl, you know, for a while, and she never said that. So I don't know. Who's right? And I also put more blush on this side. Are you also more heavy-handed on one side of your face than the other? I feel like I tend to go much heavier, you know, sometimes with my eyeshadow and clearly my blush. But if you want to tone down that's another thing. If you go too heavy on your blush, take some translucent powder and just dab right over it, and it'll knock it down some. See that? Boom. All right, so now eyeliner. So yeah, so I switched up my I was using Urban Skin RX, their cleanser, and then I was going in with like what is it, the Neutrogena like acne pads, and then I was doing like glycolic pads, and she was like, you know, you need to calm down with all the acids and things like that. So I took a chill on that. So I switched to what is it, CeraVe, their moisturizing, I think it's like cream to foam cleanser or something like that. So far so good. I had tried cream cleansers in the past, but I felt like I don't know if you feel like this. I feel like sometimes with products that are cream, I feel like my face wasn't getting clean enough. But you know something funny? I also felt like that about co-washes. You know, when I first went natural, I was like, this thing ain't getting my hair clean. But you know what? And now I actually love co-washes. Although I do still use shampoo, but I do love a good You know, As I Am co-wash, their coconut co-wash and grow wash are my favorite co-washes. I actually use them on my daughter's hair too. So I'm using right here the LA Girl Jetsetter. And then I'm going to do my lashes. Again, I'm on a timer here. I need to figure out what to do with these, with this YouTube. Trying to film my videos and, you know, do it all in one shot. I don't know. Do people do that? Or do people break it up and edit, you know, for YouTube? I don't know. I'm still very fairly new to the YouTube world, so I'm really not sure what people do, but like I said, I'm slowly figuring it out. So I'm just applying some glue to my lashes. I also have 2 brands, I think, sent me some of their some lashes I need to do to try out. So maybe I'll do a YouTube video. Stay tuned for that too. So remember, key to lashes, let them dry down first, right? And then, see, I was about to put it on myself, but don't do that because it's not ready. That is the key to lashes. That is, well, let me say that is one of the keys to lashes. Making sure your glue is dry, because if not, it's just going to make a mess all over your eyelashes. The second most important part is looking down. I tell you all the time, I grab my mirror and I look, close your eye and look down. And because I have naturally curly lashes, it's even more difficult for me to put on lashes because my lashes curl up. So I always, no matter how hard I try, I'm always going to get glue. But do you guys see how easy I just pop that on? All right, and then just do the ends. I always also usually put a little bit more glue on the ends and in a corner because that tends to, you know, pop up first. Do you see that? And look already what a big difference the lash makes. Guys, if you are not on Team Lash, I'm just saying. I am just saying. And I'm not a big, super dramatic lash girl, but I do like a little something. These are actually my favorite, like, everyday lashes. These are from Kiss. They're called Little Black Dress. They're nice and perfect. They're just like, I feel like it's just a perfect touch of just a little pop. You know what I mean? So again, making sure that that's dry. And you know what? Let me put a little bit extra on the outer and inner corner because we don't want any problems. And it's saying I have 5 minutes. Let's see if I can finish my face in 5 minutes before I have to start again. So we're gonna let that dry down. So again, let me guys know if you guys want me to do a tutorial on the As I Am curl color right here. This is my first time using it. I actually really like it. I feel like I've actually never dyed my hair any other color than black, but I feel like looking at this, like, I might want to go blonde. All right, so, and you know what? My glue was too wet, but I'm pressed for time, so it's okay. We're gonna make it work. We gonna make it work. Don't start acting up on here now. Come on, I really don't want to have to stop the camera and then turn it back on. Ah. See what happens if you don't take your own advice? And I'm sorry if the video is so long. Like I said, it wasn't, you know, it was a very impromptu. Okay, boom, look at that. I'm telling you, there's just something about lashes and this lighting today that this lighting is giving me. I don't know. This I'm using, this is actually happened to stumble on this one day in Sephora, just looking around. Sephora has stepped up their Sephora brand so much. This little lipstick right here. And you guys know I love a good nude lip. I'm either team nude or, you know, team red. Y'all know I stay in a red lipstick. Y'all see that? That's without a lip liner. For a woman of color to put on a lip liner, I mean a lipstick, and not have to use a lip liner, a nude lip. And I'm just topping it off. This is my favorite lip gloss from NYX, Praline their butter gloss. Look at that. And done, right? How does that look? Nope, this lash still looks crazy. Because like I said, we didn't wait for it to dry down. But it's okay. Because like with everything in life, we make it work. All right, guys, so that's it. So please make sure to hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.